And
hello, everybody, and welcome back to another show of TMO. Black Bear, I hear the valet in Prague is very good this year. You bring the program.
Of course, I send you the program, Red Rabbit.
Yes, that's fantastic. We are doing another show of TNO. We are your hosts, Red Rabbit and Black Bear. If you have not yet subscribed to our show, just do it right about now.
No.
Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true!
And that said, we're going to begin with the recap. Kobus, please do it. The honor for us, please. Thank you.
Definitely, I'll do it, the Red Rabbit, but not in a Russian accent. I'm not as good as you with that. So, yes, what happened this week is we saw merge and we saw players scrambling to the tee to start building new relationships, and you had to be careful not to campaign too hard, because if you got seen as campaigning too hard, obviously your name's going to be on the chopping block, and that's what at the end of the day determined that medal was on the chopping block. I mean, she campaigned really hard, but something I think is of significance for me in Survivor is how elegant you play. So if you're an elegant player, then you're going to do well, and I think that comes in with what they call jury management as well. And it's really becomes important how you do that after merge, obviously, because then you're determining who's sitting on the jury and how they're feeling about you. Any case, so we saw one challenge, a Survivor Classic, where you had to hold a bar above your head, and as soon as you tug on that bar, you tip a bucket full of colored water over, you're out of the challenge. No surprises, Letitia, boom, first one out of the challenge. But what was very surprising is the fact that Dante, also just fell out shortly after Letitia. And I mean, he's Aquaman. Aquaman fell out. So
He doesn't do well on land, Kobus. Come on.
Yeah,
in the water.
They should have. If they just stood in water, he would have been fine. But any case, and then who also did amazingly well, who surprised me, significantly, was Jeffrey and Jock. The two skinny oaks kicking ass there. So no, that was quite cool to see. And I think they did a good job. They stood there for Jock just over the 2-hour mark. I think he tipped his bucket.
Yeah.
And
it's on the point of Jeffrey though. Jeffrey, like Steffi said, he's a comrades runner, so he's got the mental capability to last the whole length of the challenge, which was pretty interesting. So we cannot. It doesn't matter how skinny they are, Kobus. You should know this. You've done a couple of Ironmen, or you say Iron Man, and then in plural Iron Men. I don't know. You've done a couple of those events, so you should know this. Yeah.
I guess Iron Man. What would you call it? Endurance races. But I think it's got its benefits when it comes to endurance kind of challenges, and that's also why I think I would do well. But I think I would have to train before, and I don't think I'll do well just as I am right now. I'm now fat and lazy.
So note to self: Kobus is a fantastic endurance athlete. He needs to train. But let's get back to wrapping up the recap. Let's get there.
Yes. So Steffi won the challenge, decided to send herself to the island of secrets. I think that was a good...
Weak! That shit was weak! You thought it was good? No, we'll talk about that. Anyway, sorry, continue. Yeah.
I think that was maybe a good move. Otherwise, you piss people off if you basically take someone out of the island, or you take votes out of the tribal council. So I think that was a safe bet for her. And Steffi she's not a big shot caller like our Roberto here at the back. Classic gangster kind of vibe. So
Mafia, Don Vito.
Yeah, Don
Vito family.
Don.
Yes. Kobus, his name is Rob in this episode. You don't mess with Don Vito or the amigos, huh?
Yes.
Continue. Sorry.
No, I don't mess with nobody. I don't mess with nobody. But Claudio, quickly your take, your overall take on the episode.
Well, I need to have a sip first, sip of wine. The overall take, interesting, slow start. A lot of the focus on the different relationships and what's going on in the different alliances is very key to what the South African Survivor producers are trying to do. They're showing us exactly what's going on. They're not leaving anything to the imagination with regards to who's playing on who and like, is this guy actually with this alliance? No, we know what's going on. So they really built up to that. The one challenge was cool, very exciting. Like you said, it was a classic. I love that it was the focus on the endurance and the mental strength of the players. Really good. And then obviously the tribal council was interesting because it wasn't a foregone conclusion. It was tight. It was whether it was going to be Meryl or Jeffrey. And what I found interesting was they had a lot of attention in the previous episode and it carried over into this episode. And it was those two in the same tribe. And we didn't know up until the last vote. So it was exciting from that perspective. I would like to call it, I know I said last episode was a fit cook. This time I'm looking at it as a vegan burger. So I'm eating it and I'm thinking it's tasting just as juicy as a normal burger, but it's very different because it's not what we're used to seeing on the past episodes, but it's building up and it's getting there. And it was something different and unusual, but yet tasty.
Okay. All right. No, cool. I like that recap. I must just say one thing with regards to the merch feast. When I saw the steer stand there, you know, everything looked cool. But inside of me, I was hoping I'm seeing that girl from the steers ad, where she says, "Can I take your order, please?" And then the guy goes, "Can I have a Mjojo burger meal, please?" And then she says, "What? You mean Mjojo?" Anyway, I wanted her to say, "You need a Mjojo." I would have loved that.
That would have been cool. I'm not gonna lie. Next time, note to self, guys, please get the Mjojo guy in there for the whole episode. Anyway, okay, sorry, you're killing me, bro. Yeah, about the actual feast though. The feast was, I thought that was random. It was cool to show like how a lot of, if we're gonna look in the biblical sense and we're focusing on the Last Supper, a lot happens at the Last Supper. So I guess that's what they were trying to do, but they were also bringing in a sponsor like Steers. So we'll give them that, but it did make the show a bit slower. So there wasn't as much action. Like I was telling you earlier, it felt more like a Game of Thrones episode, building up to the blind side or building up to the red wedding sort of thing. But yes, that's overall the recap. We're going to move over to the Golden Spear now. Kobus.
I'm gonna have to go with my man Rob here for really calling the shots. He decides Meryl is campaigning too hard, and boom, at the end of the day, he just basically determines the vote. I think I think that's my primary nomination for Golden Spear. To some slight extent, I would like to nominate Nicole as well, because I anticipated this to some extent, but I think she really played it well on a social level, motivating why she voted out Nathan. So she sort of, won back some report from the other amigos, but I still think it's going to bite her in the ass. And she annoyed the hell out of me in that in the immunity challenge when she couldn't stop talking. So I'm not going to award her the Golden Spear. Any case, and then also I think Jock really working the ground, being very strategic, but not doing enough in this episode so that I would necessarily make him my primary Golden Spear candidate. And then, Jeffrey as well for surprising me in the immunity challenge. But once again, I don't think that's enough for the Golden Spear. Rob also did well, especially for a big guy who's got big arms. You know, you've got a lot of blood flowing into those arms if, you know, having it above your head so long. So yeah, no, I think he did well. But yeah, for his social game and calling the shots, I'm gonna say that Rob is my primary nomination. And what is yours, Claudio?
Interesting candidates you have put forward. Rob with his big arms did not make my list, unfortunately. I like Mike in terms of him going to Rob and keeping the alliance. I know he wasn't in the show much, but he did his part early on, but he's not getting a nomination, but it is a mention when he went to Rob and he's like, hey man, just be cool. And I like that, because when you're in Survivor, if you don't know what to be cool. Jacques is, like you said, good mention, because he's on the fence and he's playing the fence really well. And fun fact, my surname is Barrero, Spanish origin, Portuguese origin, which means barrier, and those are the people that were sitting on the border. So I kind of like what Jacques was doing there, being on the border and playing both sides really well. And we got to look at the 2 nominations that I've got. I'm going to mention Nicole. I like what Nicole did. She's come into the she's moved from her former tribe. She obviously thought the game was going to play out a lot longer. The Rang didn't tell her the merge was happening. She was caught with the pants down, so to speak. And now she's come back licking her wounds, and she's trying to come back into the Amigos Mafioso group. By the way, that whole conversation she had with Rob really felt like a scene out of The Godfather, when Rob was like, what did he say? He's like, yeah, Nicole, the Amigos did not like this.
Yeah,
and she was like, oh, yeah. So it literally felt like
not like this.
And it was interesting because I was waiting for it to play out. It's dependent on very like, is she, it depends whether is she a distant relative or is she a sibling now? Because that's kind of what we're deciding. And I think she did really well in terms of correcting her mistake, so to speak. I like how she said, Nathan wasn't going to be there because he would have quit at some point. So I do like that. I mean, we were seeing it, whether or not he admits it's something else. So she says that. That's a good point. Second point, she mends the relationship with Sipe. Fantastic by giving the idol. She does that. And then she goes into the challenge. And she was definitely did her homework coming into Survivor, because if you look at Survivor's America's season 37, David versus Goliath, there's a little geeky guy called Christian. And there was a challenge where it was similar, where they had to hang up, and I think they were up for like 7 or 8 hours, something ridiculous. And he wouldn't stop talking. But he didn't stop talking to the presenter, Jeff Prost, because he was such a fan. He's just excited to talk to him. So he kept doing that. She obviously did it with food. And I'm also impressed with the amount of different like dishes she knows. For 2 hours, she kept talking about food. So that was incredible. I mean, why can't she not get nominated for that? And then she somehow gains her trust back. So she performed well in the challenge. She played the social game very well. She did a tier thing, which is great. I mean, we know that's a standard for Nicole now. I've spoken a lot about Nicole. Okay, Steffi gets it for me too, because like I said, I told people at work and I told other people when talking about it, I said, watch out for Steffi. She's going to be big going into this merge, playing an individual game. She's not the greatest of social players, but she's a hell of an athlete. And she's got the mental strength just to carry herself through the challenges. I don't know about when she should be performing. She's done it off the bat now, so people already know she's a physical strength. Puts her on the target on her back. I didn't like the fact that she played the fifth in terms of being very neutral and sending herself to the island. It wasn't very Survivor-like. It was very safe, very, very safe. I think she lost out in terms of the dynamics there and what happened next. Remember, you also got to remember, as soon as people are involved in votes or go to tribal council, whoever they decide to vote with, that's the bond they establish, or that's who they get closer to. The trust is built on that. Now she's alienated herself from that. She hasn't given herself the chance to build on whatever trust she was going to build. And take the risk, man. Why not take the risk? She was already in the numbers. She already had the people that she had, her amigos, or the spit shake seven. She was there. She decided to plead the fifth. Yeah. So overall, those are my nominations. What do you think, Kobus?
Gee whiz. I think one of our only overlaps is Nicole.
Yeah, I think so.
And she hasn't won a golden spear yet. But
and I will say this, it's not because she started following me on Twitter. Kobus,
you flustered, man. Okay, it's fine. Okay, we can give it to Nicole. I've got a feeling she's going to be voted out in any case. you know. let's give it for Nicole. Are you ready?
All right, you ready?
Nicole.
Golden spear. Well done, Nicole. Good job, good job, good job. Now let's move over to the wooden spear. Wooden spoon. Wooden spoon right about now.
Spoon.
What's that bubble there?
What do you think? It's a...
Well, how the hell did you get the bees above the flag? I mean, I don't know. It wasn't like it was a well-thought-out plan.
You know, there really does seem to be an awful lot of skin coming through there, so I need to find some Bactine, honey.
Wooden spoon we hand out for the village idiot, the player who every village has got an idiot, and it's not on the island. It's no different. And for
Who's
this
the
episode,
idiot in our village?
so just say that again.
Who's the idiot? Who's the idiot in our village, though?
in your village, in our village.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
shit. Oh. I guess
I think it's Tweedledee and Tweedledum, or Dumb and Dumber, either or.
we will have to ask our subscribers to nominate who's the big idiot. Me and you. But yeah,
Okay.
let's see what they comment. Yeah, drop us your nomination between Claudio and Kobus, between the red rabbit and the black bear. Who's the biggest idiot? Okay. Any case. Ja, wooden spoon. Ach, the row. I mean, you're at the merch feast. You know,
Quack, quack, quack.
you've got one job, and that is not to overeat yourself. You know, exercise some a little bit of, you know, personal. What do you call it?
Discipline.
Yeah,
Discipline.
just a little bit of self-discipline. Any case, so I'm gonna say the row for that. And I know you saying Letitia is playing. She's in stealth mode. If I think of Letitia in this episode, I think of her standing there next to Steffi and Nicole at the well. You know, making that face, which is making the.
I mean this one.
Yeah, that indeed. Yeah. So anyway, no, Letitia, she's just flipping floating, and boom, 5 seconds into the challenge, she's out. No, so wooden spoon nominations, classic the round, first and then second Letitia. What are your takes, Mr. Barreiro?
First of all, aren't we just going to rename the wooden spoon to the Derang Award? I don't know. let's start with Derang. I mean, he comes in. He doesn't tell. Coming into the episode, he doesn't tell anyone the merge is happening. Cool. You can see it as a positive thing. Cool, because he's the one person who kept the secret on the island of secrets. So well done. Yeah. However, he overeats at the steers. I don't even know what we call it, the steers feast.
Merge.
He overeats there. Yeah, the merge feast. He eats so much he can't talk to anyone because he's busy stuffing his face. Then he goes to tribal council, and he pretty much tells everyone who he's going to vote for by saying she reveals too much because she's a campaigner. And then Meryl's like, "Who are you talking about? Who are you talking about, Dante?" And he's like, yeah. So he opened his mouth at the wrong time. So Derang, definitely for those two things. You spoke about my girl Letitia. Yeah, come on, dude. I think you're not giving her enough credit. She does really well to lay low. She does. I mean, she says nothing. She did so well in being stealth that as soon as the challenge started, it took her 10 seconds to go out of it because she didn't want to be seen either. She didn't want people to see her, and she's doing really well at that, so I don't think she deserves it. Dante, on the other hand, let's talk about Dante. He comes in again. He says Nicole's emotionally unstable. Meryl calls him out saying, "Dante, my man, no. You're the bear in the circus and I'm the circus tamer. You're very emotional and unstable." But he goes, "Yeah, but I'm trustworthy." And she goes, "Yes, because I'm feeding you. I'm feeding you, Dante. That's why you're trustworthy." But anyway, so continues. He says he's the strong player. And in the side, inside first 5 minutes, he gets knocked out of the challenge. And then he goes to tribal council and he does the same thing. He runs his mouth. And pretty much tells the people that he's voting for Jeff by saying, we don't know who we're going to vote for, but he is unusually clever in the social game. Oh, I wonder who you're talking about, Dante. So those are my two nominations, Dante and Durang, the default guys.
Okay, I'm gonna okay, let me just say this I know Dante didn't make the best play, but what I do like about Dante, Claudio, is what you see is what you get with that guy. It's no bullshit. If he likes you, you know it, and if he doesn't like you, you know it.
And you know what? You got a point, and I'm scared to say this because the guy who won last season, Tom, was the same way, and I was like, "There's no ways in hell the Soak's gonna win it." But in Survivor South Africa, it doesn't matter what kind of player you are, or how good you play in the game. Somehow you've got a chance of winning it. So maybe you're right. So then I think let's settle with your boy, the default. Third episode in a row. Third episode.
Damn, the wrong man. Anyway, there was. I was just okay. Let's quickly award it for the round. 3, 2, 1.
Quack, quack, quack.
Anyway,
if you're watching this, you get our wooden spoon again.
Anyway, there's this heavy funny clip that I saw on Reddit. A guy made a
how heavy is it, Kobus? Is it weighing me down? Is it that funny?
Anyway, no, it's about the royal returning from the Island of Secrets, and then his little character goes and tells the tribe. So I didn't get a one-time immunity idol on the Island of Secrets, and then they said, okay, so Daryl, what did you get? And then then the little Daryl character goes, Nathan, what did you say again that you got? Then he says, I got to speak to my dad. And he says, yes, I too. I also got to speak to Nathan's dad.
Yeah, I saw that. Actually, I know that the guy liked one of my things on Twitter. I forgot his name.
He's actually really funny.
I find that guy's name and I'll put it in the comment section because he's worth a follow. He makes like little 8-bit animations of every episode. He's really, really cool.
Yeah.
That's it.
Anyways, storm is brewing.
Yeah, storm is brewing. What do you think?
Okay, so no, I'm just highly excited because it's such a big group that merged, and because there's so many different relationships, which we're seeing, and it's quite entertaining. I would like to see a couple of people leave sooner rather than later, but that's personal preference. So I think I should zip it on that one.
No. Tell us. Who do you want to go home? Who do you want? Who is it? Who don't you like?
I would like. I know we awarded her the Golden Spear, but I would like her to go home sooner rather than later. Nicole.
Whoa, dude! The funny thing about Nicole, we forgot to mention. I love the part how she's painted Meryl and Dante as villains, and the show went with it. And she said, "Yo, I'm a hero." But in the episode before, she sacrificed Nathan. What was that? Like as some sort of, was he a lamb that she had to sacrifice for the greater good?
No.
I love that.
That's bullshit. If you're a hero, it's evident. You don't become a hero by telling everyone you're a hero. That's
yeah, but she's playing dark moves, so she's kind of she has this Batman aura about her. She's got to do the bad thing for the greater good. But anyway, sorry, continue.
Any case, so yeah, I'm hoping to see her go rather soon. But also, I want to reiterate, jury management is super important in this part of the game. So, and I think you manage the jury by making sure that people aren't pissed off for you when you vote them off. And that's what I think Jock is doing fantastically well at this stage. No one is pissed off if they get voted off, or no one is pissed off at Jock. But even if Nicole were to go to the end, I think she would get some hate mail at the end of the show from the what's the name, from the other cast. Anyways, Claudio, your take.
Yes. My take. Okay. A couple of things. Firstly, the Nicole thing. Let's ease off. She did follow me this week. I mean, that's a big deal, dude. Interesting thing about the tribal council. I saw there were only 9 seats. So I don't know if they're going to be nine the guys on tribal council, but at the end of the show, Meryl did say she's excited to be on tribal council. So I'm super confused. So I'm not sure if they're going to be 3 guys or 2 guys in the final. There's not much from my end because I kind of just forgot what I was going to say. but I'm excited.
I will give you points for being very observant and seeing that there are only 9 seats for the jury.
Dude, you must know. Like, I'm watching this thing now that we're doing the show, and I'm pausing it every time. I'm like, hey, write that down. No, I'm just kidding. I'm casual, guys. I'm very casual. No, so yeah. So for Storms Brewing, you got interesting bits. You've got what's Jacques going to do? I think Jacques a big player in this game because you don't know which side he's going to take. He's playing both sides really well. You've got the Spit Shake 7. Do they stick together? You've got the former old Saula members, the Amigos. Although I don't think they're allowed to be called the Amigos now that Nathan's gone. And then you've got the Laume between Mike, Jeff, and Mbaba Lili. I don't know what it is. You've got that group, and they're sticking together. And then you've got, obviously, the former Ta'alu. Now, Kobus, complete free agent. He wants to get under Rob's wing. There's partly because I think, like you, he's blown away by his arms. I'm gonna have to work on my arms to impress you. It's good thing we haven't met yet. Yeah, so I think it's interesting. It's going to swing either way. I'm excited to see what happens next episode. And yeah, let's hope there's more action. I want to see those 2 challenges. I want to see a reward challenge, a community challenge, and I want to see blood. But by me, I don't mean physical blood. I mean like sweat and tears. You know, not tears, just sweat. We've seen enough tears. Yeah,
yeah, enough tears. I mean, we've had a river cried this in this series so far. Claudio, thanks for joining me for another episode of TNO. It was big fun.
Yep.
Alrighty,
thank you guys. And if you want to be on our intro video, all you have to do is tweet or hashtag Thursday Night Outcasts with a video of yourself going TNO, and we'll put you in the beginning and join the rest of the cool people who've been in it. I mean, people are literally Kobus. People are begging me to be on the intro. They think it's so cool.
Yep.
There's not much I can do. I keep telling them, listen, you need to send a video of yourself. But people are just saying, no. And then they get shy. But I'm like, listen, if you want to be on our show, you can't be shy. Look at Kobus.
Exactly.
He's not shy. Look at Kobus. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, anyway, end that thing.
All right. Okay, bye.
Cheers, everyone.